I don't see why people are fat, all outside of the fact that they are just so fucking stupid. I sincerely believe people that are obese and fat, they are just dumb. What's good, YouTube? Yo, welcome back to another video. And today we're gonna watch a video about obesity. And morbidly obesity, and people that are promoting it, which is obviously very, very bad, right? You shouldn't be promoting deadly diseases, right? But yeah, people made that their job, you know, showing off like, oh look, I'm fat and I'm healthy and stuff, and lying about a bunch of shit. And yeah, cool. So, but this is about the people that passed away that are glorifying obesity. Now, I'm not gonna say they deserve that, right? But it wasn't their future. Like, it was inevitable, right? Like, it's very sad that these individuals died, right? It's very sad. However, they kind of did it on their own, you know? They kind of just, it's like whenever somebody goes, like, smokes and they get lung cancer, I'm like, yeah, your own fault, buddy boy. Like, you know, so I don't really have a lot of sympathy for these people. All right. Anyway, let's hop in.
Fat acceptance is a cult.
Just a reminder,
oh yeah, absolutely.
that I am very fat and very sexy, and I am 100% glorifying obesity.
Disgusting.
I want to inspire big girls all over the world. This is what I manifest every single day.
Ooh, 37, bro.
Choo choo. Choo choo.
There's nothing you can do.
I'm fat and I'm sexy.
I'm fat and I'm sexy.
Sure, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but I don't know about you. I don't find any sexiness in contributing to the statistics that obesity is the leading cause of death in the US. Very hot, I know.
Great.
Just because I'm fat, that doesn't invalidate the things that I say.
She died.
You ready to get supersized?
She died too.
Today I've got the big Fruit Loop.
He's dead,
Join me on my Fat Positive radio show.
which didn't last long because she died.
Unlike how Dove or the
God damn, bro. Oh man. Yeah. Listen, man. If you have to get anything from this video, right? It's care about your health, okay? Health at every size isn't the thing. It's just not, okay? Some people are obese. That means they're overweight, which means that their organs are or not their organs, their veins are squeezing, you know, because of the high cholesterol and stuff. Like, it's bad for you, okay? High blood sugar, high blood rate. That's not how it's called. Blood pressure, you know, it's very bad. And then there's people on the other side of the spectrum, which are people that have underweight, who are anorexic, and, you know, they are also not healthy. You know, you have to just, you know, stay in the middle. It's not that hard.
The new wave of Victoria's Secret wants you to believe healthy beauty does not come at every size, and certainly not at a lot of the socially
Like, if your arms look like Michelin, man, you're doing something wrong.
noble body positive plus sizes. Yet it is absolutely not wholesome to point that out. So much corporate glorification has been done to powder the fat elephant in the room. That
Yeah, because the majority of people are obese. Especially in America, like 50% of, or something of the whole population in America is obese. Like, you know?
obesity is in fact a disease, not a bragging point. But corporations don't want you to get well because there's
True.
a gold mine in fatness. Not just in convincing you to shed it, but also for you to keep it. Take body positive all-star Dove for instance. Real beauty comes at every size. They stretch out their plastic bottles and video game figures.
Bro, isn't Dove like owned by like this company that owns like a bunch of other things, like that also sells food and everything like that?
to slap on words like beautiful, sexy, confident whenever they can. Like every other human, I wanted to believe that it was to support the self-love journey of women and leave it at that. But no, I decided to ruin my day and my trust in humanity by researching a bit more and found out that Dove is owned by Unilever. And guess what
Yes, they sell food too.
else Unilever owns? Ben & Jerry's ice cream, Magnum ice cream.
Bro, I called it. I literally called it, bro. They want you to stay fat. They want you to eat their garbage so you'll be more obese and need more Medicare and all that.
And many other ice creams, Hellmann's mayo in all your greasy burgers, Skippy peanut butter, a selection of frozen foods. I can go on. Isn't it nice to encourage your consumers to accept their enlarging body and deteriorating health as the ideal in order to sell more of your processed foods because their beautiful bodies deserve more? Has body positivity a movement intended?
Listen, man, if you're body positivity and you're just glorifying obesity, you are very delusional, okay? The reason why these people are glorifying it is because they are unable to comprehend how they can fix themselves. So they gave up on losing weight because they didn't understand it, or they didn't even try, or they couldn't keep up with you know, a diet or something like that. Or their impulsive behavior was just too strong to overcome. Anyway, the more of the story, people that are fat are weak. They're weak-willed. They are weak-willed, okay? Because they don't try their hardest to actually stay in shape. Just how it is. They are like, oh, they literally are gluttony, bro. Like, they're like, oh, I want some food. Oh, I'm gonna eat this. I'm gonna eat that. Eat this and this. And then eventually they'll eat like 4,000 calories a day. Like, yeah, duh. No wonder you look like fucking Michelin Man, you know?
To uplift women become just manipulative limits.
Also, the fact that it's also only women, bro. Like, men don't fall for this shit because guess what? We know we are ugly. We know when we are fat. We know when we are bald, and we know all the negative things because people point it out to men. But women, they somehow like are in this like protective shell, and they cannot take criticism, or you cannot criticize them because that's sexist. Hell no, bro. If you fat, I'm gonna call you fat. This is how it is.
To our acceptable emotions.
My dear sweet child, that's what I do. It's what I live for.
And worse, a cover for big food, big farming, and big pharmaceutical companies to profit off a nation of increasingly sick and fat people. None of this is a coincidence.
So the industry has engineered what they call the bliss point for the perfect amount of sugar in products, not too little, not too much, working on maximizing the allure of their products.
Quote, we like them fat.
Yeah.
Pick any ultra-processed foods at your local grocery store, for example. Some Kraft mac and cheese and Nestle drumstick, pair it with some Kit Kat, Coffee Crisp, Smarties, and why not throw in some Laffy Taffy? Pop in the Kool-Aid and 4 cans of Dr. Pepper to keep hydrated. Oh, and can't forget the Oreo and Chips Ahoy. 4 cans of Orange Fanta for the vitamins. Fanta. Balance, as one may say.
Yeah, that's not balanced, bro. That was just a bunch of junk. There was no greens. There was no potatoes. There was no healthy, fatty or red meat. Like, nothing that is actually healthy for you was in there. Nothing. It was all a bunch of grease, fat, and calories. Oh, and sugar, obviously. Like, I don't see why people are fat, all outside of the fact that they are just so fucking stupid. I sincerely believe people that are obese and fat, they are just dumb. They are just dumb, and they're a victim of the machine, right? They're so stupid, they're so ignorant that they can't comprehend how to live healthy. They don't understand calories because they never studied it. They don't understand vitamins, or like how your body processes proteins and calories and all that, right? Like they just don't know anything about that. This is why I always like say, Schools should teach nutrition. People need to know how to accurately and healthy eat. You know, they have to know this is how much calories you should consume in a day. And if you go over this, you'll gain weight because you are in a calorie, not deficit, a calorie surplus. And that's a fancy word, but that just means that you're eating more calories than you burn from just being able to like walk and like feed your organs, you know, because you're passively always burning calories. Right now, I'm sitting down, right? But just my brain, my organs working, that costs energy. So how does your body use energy? It takes it from your food supply, right? And from your fat and all that, right? So if you eat more than you burn a day, you'll gain weight. That's the easiest I can explain it. And if you just eat less than you burn, guess what? You burn more weight, so you gain less weight. Or you lose weight. That's how it is. It's so simple. But somehow people don't understand how to lose weight. And they're all like on this, I can't take this diet because it's so bad, it's so hard, so tasteless. Yeah, you know why? Because you're literally following a diet that makes you hate your life. You don't need a hate your life diet. You don't. How about you start with just cutting out sodas? Let's say you eat or you drink, I don't know, 4 cans of Coke a day, or just any soda a day, right? How about you just take one out? Just one. That's the start. Just one. Do that for a week, 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, you know, a month. And then, you know, another month, you just take one more away. And for substitute, if you're thirsty, you'll drink water. You'll drink, I don't know, I think you can drink tea. You can drink, I don't know, fruit juice. Not like the sweetened kind, obviously, right? Or you can just switch to 0 sugar. That's also way better for you. You know, there's like so many little tips that most people just don't know, which would easily make your life better and will be able to make you lose weight in a not very traumatic or very crushing diet. You know, like the most calories you actually consume are from your drink. Like, if you just like, let's say you have like a day, right? Just fill up 1 bottle of water, right? Just 1 bottle of water. Every time you're thirsty, you drink a couple sips. That's it, right? If you feel like having a Coke, try zero sugar Coke, right? And you can combine the both. You know, you can drink your Coke and you can drink your water. And because you're drinking water on top of your Coke consumption, you'll easily be able to drink less of the Coke, even though you're already cutting out calories because you are drinking the 0 calorie drink, right? But people just don't understand that. And the worst part actually is whenever whenever people like tell you like how to lose weight, they tell you, you have to cut out everything. You have to cut out all the good things in life. You can't eat chocolate, you can't eat sugar, you can't eat chips, you cannot eat anything, right? And that's just completely false. You can still go to McDonald's. You can still get your McNuggets, bruh. No worries. You can go to the KFC. No worries, bruh. It's just you have to be moderate with it, you know? And that is the point. People have to have self-control. And if you don't have self-control, don't buy the things that you are probably going to consume. Right? Like if your self-control is so bad that you cannot have a bag of chips in your house, don't buy the bag of chips. Don't do it. It's really easy to just walk past it. Don't do it. You know, and if you can't, ask a friend. Yo, hey, I'm gonna go grocery shopping, but my impulsive behavior prevents me from losing weight. Can you help me out? Now, this is a very hard thing to say for somebody, obviously. I 100% sympathize with that fact because it's making you vulnerable, right? And acknowledging your vulnerability is very difficult because it takes a lot of guts, right? But Trust me. It's a lot easier than having to get your fucking foot removed because you are so obese to the point that your circulation in your feet just cut off. You know? Like, think of this as a investment. You invest into your health so you feel better throughout your whole life. You know? And yes, you have to cut out certain things. You have to reduce the amount that you're eating. Yes, you have to be less indulging in majority of the food that you're eating right now. Yes, you have to sacrifice things. Abso-fucking-lutely, okay? But I rather sacrifice being able to eat a shit ton of food than a fucking leg. I'm sorry, bro. I'm just being honest.
As conventional beauty standards have become much more accepting and ambiguously defined by beauty giants. But guess who owns the beauty giants? Conglomerates like Nestle, Unilever, who sell you anything from chocolate to ice cream to frozen foods. And that is when the Dove body soaps begin to make sense. Not saying that all body positive and fat acceptance campaigns are there to manipulate and trick you into increasing your body fat percentage without limits. And that is exactly the issue. So much of the message comes actually from an extremely caring and helpful perspective to help remove the stigma around plus-size people. But also...
yeah, it's bad. People need to wake up. Being obese is bad. It's deadly, alright? They should just educate more people on the fact that you die from obesity. It is deadly. It's the #1 death cause in the world. Okay? This should be the cancer of the world. People are always like, oh, I can't say anything about cancer. Well, how about you say something about obesity, bruh? Obesity is worse. It is worse. And it's your own fault. People that get cancer can just, can be anyone. Right? Essentially. Nobody's safe from not getting cancer. However, a lot of people are safe from obesity because guess what? It's a self-induced fucking disease. And it's your fault because you're fat. But just because it's your fault and you've fallen into the obesity category doesn't mean that you can work so you can get out of the obesity category. So you can be healthy. Alright? It is very stupid that these health at every size movements even exists. Because they shouldn't, because it's unfucking real. It's not possible, bro. You cannot be healthy at every size. It's not a thing. It is just gaslighting you. So other people feel better about themselves. And you feel better about yourself, even though you have to fucking struggle to climb a couple stairs. Wake up, man. Literally, just wake up.
So much fat glorification has been disguised as acceptance.
Oh my god.
And when the majority of your stakeholders need to make money from selling frozen pizzas and ice cream, the votes are not up to you. Hiding profit-generating fat glorification under the term fat acceptance is genius. In two ways. First, it plays on the sentiment of correcting social injustices in society. Yes,
no, it's to appease insecure women. I'm just saying it, bro. I'm just saying the thing out loud that nobody wants to say. It is just because women are unable to take criticism because mentally they're still a child. Women don't grow up. They don't become adults. They just grow up. Okay? Their brain doesn't function very differently from when they were 15. Just saying it out loud, man.
Arguably so, the statistical likelihood of fat and obese people facing more difficulties in society, such as prejudices, is a lot higher. And the stigmatization in media brought unfair shaming to obese individuals, which should never be normalized.
Kat, I disagree. I think it should be normalized. I think we should shame people for being fat because it's your own fault. It's your own fault. You eat, all right? That fork isn't gonna eat for you. You take that fork and you You keep eating. Or you're just eating with your hand. Like, you are the one that eating it, bruh. Not me. I'm not eating for you. I'm not. Your neighbors aren't either. You are eating for yourself. You have impulse controls. Issues with impulse controls. I mean, you're impulsive. I encourage anyone who is on a weight loss journey, every time I see somebody on Twitter or Twitter or TikTok, and I see this person like seeing that he's losing weight, that he's like going to the gym, I'm like, yes, absolutely, man, good job. But whenever I see like these fat at every size bullshits, obviously I can't say anything about TikTok because, well, you get banned because TikTok's policies on comments are terrible. But on Twitter I can say my piece. You know, I'm not holding back, bro. I'm just not. Like, it should be very normalized to stigmatize like obesity, because guess what? It is deadly, okay?
But glorifying obesity, the disease, as conventional beauty hints at a moral superiority and makes anyone's opinions who differ morally shallow, regardless if fat is unhealthy or not. Second, a food company telling you that being fat is natural, which isn't, and awesome, is not so convincing.
There's no waistline worry with Coke, you know. This individual size bottle has no more calories than half a grapefruit.
When you can spot their profit motive from 50 miles away.
Coke is low in calories, too. Say now, don't you get any thinner?
A direct hard sell won't work here. But when a beauty or self-care company you never associate with frozen pizza casts someone plus size for a commercial, you get fired up with a sense of justice. Yeah, that is beautiful too. Don't get me wrong, overly restrictive beauty with models who are only Kate Moss level heroine chic is also problematic because, again, it is not healthy. But as much as...
Yeah, but the reason why there are models is because they're bordering on unhealthy and healthy. It's the same thing with IFBB Pro bodybuilders. We know it's not healthy, but it's admirable because it takes a lot of effort and time and energy to achieve the physique, because it's peak. They are achieving their peak physiques, and nothing infuriates me more when I've seen a fat model, bro. All she did is be fat. That's her own. That's a DEI hire, bro. Oh, you have to pick out fat models. Okay, who's fat? Who's obese? Yeah, you. Okay, come here. You can go. All right, go on the catwalk. Do it. You have no training? Ah, whatever, bro. It doesn't matter. Just go. Just go. You're fat. Go. Put this dress on. Move. Like, nothing infuriates me more, because these models, even though they have ridiculous restrictions, they actually put in the work. They actually are the amount of height they need to be. They are the amount of BMI they need to be. Right? They actually work for their physique. And even though it might not be healthy, right? It is admirable because it took a lot of effort. All right? And it's admirable because not everyone can be a model. It is something that is limited and not everyone can be it. That's why it makes it special. Because if everyone can be a model, nobody is a model.
Many wish the spectrum of healthy does not stretch over to obesity. It is amazing that women of all sizes are loving and accepting who they are.
Okay, well, this one, she is obese, right? And people are gonna say, oh my god, you can't say that. Yeah, I can, because she's clearly obese. However, she is like borderline obese, right? She's not like morbidly obese like this woman right here. That's the difference. This is why people also say like, oh my god, I can't believe you called her obese. Look at her, she's obese. Yeah, but she is morbidly obese. That's the difference. She is also morbidly obese. She just got a bit of a tummy. She can, you know, she isn't in mortal danger. That's why it's called morbidly obese. Got it? Like, she is not that bad. You know, she's rather, I would say, average. Oh, even though average are obese right now, but she's not in like immediate danger, right? She's not in like territory, oh, I have to like cut off my foot. She, however, is. That's the difference.
But genuine self-love and confidence comes from within, and not society telling you or some ads telling you that your size is also quote-unquote beautiful. What we're talking about here is not the opposite of fat shaming. For shaming someone for any reason is not acceptable behavior because it does not come from a place of genuine care, of wanting to help them be well.
That's cap. And it depends on the person, alright? Some people work really well on negative confirmation and they change it because they don't like the negativity around it, right? And some people can't. Some people don't. So yes, it's a double-edged sword, but for the people that it works for, shame them. Abso-fucking-lutely. Shame them to no ends. Okay? Because that's their motivation. That's where they got their motivation from. Alright? And I wasn't like obese or anything like that. I've never really been obese. As far as I'm concerned. I was overweight. I have been overweight. But unlike people saying that I was overweight, right? Unlike my parents making sure that I stopped eating all this garbage, right? I myself started shaming myself into being better. That's also a thing. You can also just make yourself be better. Like put on your I don't know, sergeant hat and scream at you like you're some drill sergeant. You know? And some people work really well on that, and some people absolutely don't. So that's the issue here. You just need to find the approach that works for you so you don't kill yourself with eating.
We're talking about the glorification of fat, disguised as acceptance.
Positivity is toxic because it pretends to be rooted in compassion and kindness. But in reality, it encourages women to engage in very destructive behaviors.
Yeah.
It encourages women to be obese, unhealthy, and be averse.
Why do you think the bodybuilding industry is so scrutinized with anabolics and stuff? Because it's deadly if you do it wrong. Whenever you see like I would be pro bodybuilder, you're like, yeah, that's definitely unhealthy, right? But it doesn't promote being going on gear. It doesn't. Nobody does. Even Ronnie Coleman, right? One of the most legendary motherfuckers on earth that did bodybuilding has always said, don't do it. Don't do it. Every single time. Every single time he's asked about steroids. Don't do it. That's like Ronaldo saying in football something. Like, that's how much impact this guy has on the people that are interested in bodybuilding. But these fat models and fat people on the internet and all that, who are like Lizzo, for example. Lizzo, by the way, has really turned up great, by the way. She has really lost a bunch of weight. I'm very, I wouldn't say proud because I don't really know her, but I'm very glad she shifted her fat at every size thing and actually started, you know, becoming healthy. But Lizzo used to be like one of the staple people that actually, you know, promoted this unhealthy lifestyle, you know, because, oh look, I'm fit, I can do all this like dancing and which was impressive. She has some great stamina even before she stopped or started losing weight, right? But that isn't the average. She is an exception. She is a big exception, right? And that's the issue. People don't understand exceptions exist.
To personal responsibility and discipline.
If you think most body positivity campaigns are to help you love yourself, I'm sorry, honey. Corporate America.
None of them are. I disagree. Because if you loved yourself, you would want the best of yourself. And wanting the best of yourself does not include eating yourself to death. That is not part of loving yourself. That is the devil on your shoulder whispering in your ear. Do what you want. Damn the consequences. Like, It's not, bro.
It is a surfacely sweet, but extremely cruel place.
It's like, how can you not see the problem? They have to see it and just not care. They have to just be like, well, we're gaining profit. Do you see how much this McDonald's is making? Put another one across the street.
There is nothing wrong with fat acceptance. Acceptance of reality is the first and most essential step to all or any type of progress. But the importance of what to do after accepting the reality is often neglected and never talked about. Telling fat people to keep eating the way that's not serving their health because they are beautiful is like telling an alcoholic to keep on drinking because they're fun. It's the easy and profitable thing to do.
Having a fat country makes us money.
But at the end of the day, it is irresponsible to push unhealthy, addictive behaviors to a greater extreme with the power of both brainwashing.
How do people watch these, like, people, like, eat a bunch of food, man? Like, it turns my stomach, I swear to God.
Quote-unquote self-love ads and processed foods designed in a way that's addicting, easy to eat, and easy to repeat the eating pattern. It's not a simple good versus bad food, normal versus fat problem. It's a whole addictive pattern building trap.
I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. Everyone was so happy for me. I hated myself. I hated the way I looked. I hated why I exercised.
Naturally fat. Are daily trips to McDonald's genetics? Is eating chips in bed genetics? Is being allergic to the gym genetics? Is running 100 miles genetics?
No.
Back in a universe where fat just meant fat and not a compliment or insult, fat just means you have excess energy stored in your body that you are not using. Obesity or overweight is a disorder involving excessive body fat that increases the risk of health problems. Notice how something that—
Bro, listen, bro. Hold on. Look at this woman, right? Look at this woman. She is stationary in bed. Somebody's feeding this woman all this garbage. For anyone who does that, you should be ashamed of yourself. Because you are aiding her suicide. If you have somebody that looks like this, you know them, and you feed them like this, you're a bad person. You are aiding her death. You know that? You're aiding her death, because there's no reason to be putting this on this motherfucker's plate, bro. There was no reason at all. Absolutely no reason. Alright? You can give her something tasty to give, or to eat, without giving her whatever the fuck is this garbage. Like, why was it? This is like fucking... What, Doritos and fucking pizza? Like, what? Are you crazy? Look at this woman, bruh. She's dying. She can't even turn herself around on the bed because it will probably crush her spine. Honestly, I just get so frustrated seeing this because it's like whenever I see animal cruelty, man. Like, I'm just like, oh my days, man. How can you be this, like, heartless? How can you put somebody in a vulnerable... It's like whenever drug dealers... I hate drug dealers, bro. Like, there's a... Oh, well, they just do it. No. Drug dealers are the devil on earth, bro. They are evil, okay? Straight up evil, all right? Because you're aiding vulnerable people into committing, like... things that they shouldn't be doing. And same thing goes for here, bro. The person who gave her this plate is pretty much a fucking drug dealer. And I will never go back on that word, alright? You're evil. You're bad.
Excessive body fat that increases the risk of health problems. Notice how something that elevates your risk of dying of cardiac arrest is a disorder and is not normal. Needless to say, glamorously framed as the modern sexiness. Yet times and times again, science and data say one thing, and media and advertising say another. Beauty is supposed to be diverse and natural, but there is nothing natural about being obese. Obesity prevalence was stably low until shooting up post the 70s, and even though there is no data evidently backing up its absence in our hunter and gatherer days, rare civilizations removed from modern processed foods and lifestyles such as the Chimene tribe is a close modern case. The Chimene, a Bolivian population living in a subsistence lifestyle of hunting, gathering, fishing, and farming.
You know why why we are getting obese. We have so much food. We are so privileged with so much food, and we barely move. We barely have excess exercise to get rid of every single calorie we eat to the extent that we are, healthy. The majority of us, let me guess, like let's say you have like a normal day job, right? You sleep, you wake up, you I don't know, drink some coffee, maybe eat some breakfast, whatever, something normal, right? And you would say, oh well, he ate eggs with bacon in the morning. There's no issue with that, okay? There's no issue with that, all right? But here we go. So they're gonna go to work, right? They step into a car. Yeah, exactly. They drive for however many hours, then they sit at a day job doing fuck all. Somebody comes in, yo, I bought donuts. You'll eat a donut, maybe two, right? You sit there for like how many hours, and then you go home with your car. How much exercise have you done that day? Nothing. You haven't done nothing, bro. You have sat on your ass every single hour of the day until you went back home. And then you're gonna sit on your ass again on the couch watching TV, right? And maybe if you're responsible, you'll go to the gym after work or something like that, right? But outside of that, there's no physical activities that will increase your calorie burning. Because you're not doing nothing. You're doing nothing. You're sitting on your ass. That's like basic maintenance. That only burns like the bare minimum of calories. And that's why people are obese. They're not moving enough, but they're eating too much. It's that simple.
Had the lowest levels of coronary heart diseases reported to date and statistically insignificant obesity. And yes, they also eat sugar and starchy carbs, just harvested by themselves. So do these people just have some God-sent fat-proof genetics? No.
Nope.
The overall Bolivian population that shares similar genetics is still subject to 28 and 17% of obesity for women and men. So if they also eat carbs, fat, protein, just like the American diet, why are they rarely inflicted with fat-related health complications? Is all the difference really in the absence of food processing? According to CDC, Americans are eating more calories on average than they did in the 1970s. Between 1971 and 2000, the average man added 168 calories to his daily fare, while the average woman added 335 calories a day. What is driving this trend? Experts say it's a combination of increased availability, bigger portions, and more high-calorie foods, but nothing beats the devious design of processed foods to get people hooked as an addictive coping mechanism to rising psychological issues. Food addiction is a carefully designed process. People aren't stuffing their faces in beans when they're having a bad day. Quote, foods that are very high in fat and carbohydrate in equal ratio don't exist naturally, said Gerhardt, a clinical psychologist at the University of Michigan. It is something that is designed by food scientists in a laboratory to look a certain way, feel a certain way in your mouth, smell a certain way when you open the package. So once you had one pleasant experience with it, you want more, and you want it more often. Food addiction is on the rise, and the conglomerates are normalizing it, or rather glamorizing the consequence of it. So much of the fat acceptance movement is actually a brainwashing ad for addictive junk food. And yes, excuse my language, for it is now politically incorrect to call food good or bad. And I agree. It's all based on perspective. Good for what and bad for what, and how much of good before it turns not so good. Because good versus bad is so subjective, it's easier than ever for food companies to manipulate the concept. Because the easier answer is always one that makes you feel good. To eat as much as you want and still feel great about yourself.
The only reason that you can classify food as good or bad is the quality of the food. And it's not the health quality, it is just the quality overall. There's no such thing as bad food or good food. Even on diets, you can eat both of them. All right. It's more like for restaurants, like how good is the steak, right? How well is it done? or made, right? How good is the cook? That's what you can say, like, oh, this was good, right? Or this was bad. You know, the cook was really bad. But saying a certain food just because it has like a lot of calories is bad, or something that has low calories is good, it works for some people, but it can be bad for you, because, you know, then you will eliminate certain foods because you think it's bad, right? And then it can like be a slippery slope, because then you get like I don't eat carbs because carbs is sugar and carbs is sugar bad, right? Like then you get like idiots like that, you know?
Get that fiber and the antioxidants and just feel.
And the greatest beneficiaries to glorifying this disease is the toxic triad of big farming, big food, and big pharma for creating a nation of sick and fat people. Let me put it into context. About a third of our economy thrives on making people more fat and sick. Big farming grows 500 more calories per person per day than 25 years ago. Industrially processed foods with addictive combinations of fat, sugar, and salt deter the stop signals for eating. The sicker our population, the more medications are sold for high cholesterol, diabetes, high blood pressure, depression, and other lifestyle-driven diseases. While more and more of us believe not only is this okay, this type of sickness is sexy and beautiful. And sadly, the profit-driven version of the fat acceptance movement targets women way more. Why do we see a range of plus-size models?
Yeah, because women are more gullible than men. Look at the pink tax. Women spend a little bit more money just to get a pink razor, even though it's the same goddamn razor. You know? And I fully blame women for this. I'm not gonna lie. Like, they should stop consuming so much. Women are the ones that consume the most. Women are consumers. They are not careful with money. They are very impulsive, statistically, alright? This is not an opinion. Statistically, like nearly 71% of women are very impulsive, money spenders. You can like say, oh, that's bad or that's good. It's just a fact, alright? And the reason why women get targeted by this is because they're gullible, man. Like, same with like, I don't know, makeup or like other beauty products. Like, they spend hundreds of dollars on this bullshit, even though it's just a moisturizer. You can buy that for like $5. A good moisturizer, you can just buy it at $5. You don't need a fucking fancy like brand. Like, it's just you can just buy fucking Vaseline or aloe vera. You know, like, you don't need anything fancy, but here they are. They paying like 60 fucking bucks for some moisturizer because, oh, it's a fancy name or fancy whatever. And the same counts for like branded clothing and stuff. Look at the Chanel bags. That motherfucker's getting made in China for like 50 bucks. Meanwhile, you pay for like one Chanel bag, like what, 800, 1200, however crazy you want to go. Like, it's just women somehow have like this innate like I don't know, feeling or a programming that just they want to stand out or something. I don't know, or like they just want to consume more. They're just not content with the majority of things. And I believe men are just more content easier, you know? Like, there's a lot of like the typical meme that's going around all the time, right? With like the man has like a big ass TV and he got like a pizza in front of him and he's like he's sitting on like from some fucking fold up chair, you know? Like, he bought a TV for like, I don't know, 800 bucks. He got his pizza and he's just watching the game on his fold up chair, living the life, you know? And then there's always women in the comments saying, oh my god, I can't believe you didn't buy a couch. I didn't, like, he's happy. And somehow women can't understand that men can be happy with like the most minimal thing ever. Like, whenever we find a stick that looks very cool or very it's like shaped in a sword in the forest, we're like, oh my god. And then women's like, oh, it's just a stick. It's just different in brain, man. It's just biologically and psychologically, we are so complex and different. And the reason why women are targeted with this specifically is because beauty is like one of the core essential things for women, right? They want to be beautiful, right? And I understand that. I fully understand that. And I'm not even complaining about that. You know, if women want to do anything they want to get like as beautiful as possible, right? In a healthy way, go for it, right? Because women are beautiful, right? There's a lot of people that are beautiful, or women that are beautiful, right? But it's so artificial that even when there's women that aren't beautiful, are getting told they are beautiful, then the beautiful women that are beautiful, they're not beautiful anymore, because beautiful has lost its meaning. You know? Like, words used to mean stuff. Words used to have value. But whenever you call everyone beautiful, the whole value of beautiful doesn't exist anymore. It's like whenever, let's say, every day you'll get $1,000 in the mail, right? Eventually, $1,000 isn't worth nothing because everyone got it. Why do you think people admire people that have like very expensive cars, but not like just expensive cars, like limited cars? Because it's valuable. It's limited, so it has meaning, it has value.
Models from mannequins in retail to
God damn, bro. Oh man, I've conflicting opinions about this. On one hand, I am glad these things exist. Now hear me out. The reason why I'm glad these things exist is because it is modeling sportswear. Right? It's modeling sportswear. And what do you do in sportswear? Exactly. You work out, which people that are obese should be doing. So I am all for that. I am a big fan of that. On the other side, this is just saying, oh, you can be obese. It doesn't matter. Just be obese. Like, it has two messages, and two different kind of people will see this. Some will say, okay, I'm looking for some sportswear because I'm going to be motivated. I'm going to the gym. I'm going to lose all this weight, you know, all that. And then they see the mannequin like, oh my God, thank you. Thank God there's like clothes that actually fit me and all that, right? So I can work out comfortably. But then you have the other side. And those are the people that aren't gonna try to be, you know, healthy, aren't gonna be trying to get rid of their weight. And then they see this mannequin, like, oh, well, I mean, they have this mannequin in my shape, it must be normal.
To Victoria's Secret fashion shows, while men's fashion still shows buff and toned models and plastic mannequins.
Because men actually respect men, okay? And this sounds very sexist, okay? But hear me out. Men respect people, or other men that are ripped, that have a physique that is admirable because it's only acquired by a lot of energy, motivation, and effort, right? And men really respect effort. We really respect the value that achievements have, right? And you can see this even in gaming, right? Whenever there's something in a game that's very difficult to achieve, and somebody achieves it, people are respecting this person because it's difficult to get. No matter how some people think it's loser mentality or anything like that. Like, oh, well, a loser, he achieved something in the game, but he didn't achieve anything in his life. But for him, that is important for his life. But regardless, right? First of all, we don't really objectify male models. Honestly, I rather, whenever I'm like online shopping or something, I rather just see the shirt. I don't need a model to wear it. I really don't care. I don't need to see that. I just want to see the shirt, how it looks. All right? Because it will fit me anyways. Because I don't care about models. I don't really care about how the shape looks on me. I just buy a shirt. You know, that's it. I just buy a shirt. Oh, but maybe it's too long or maybe it's too wide. I don't care. It's a shirt. A size L, right? I think this is L. Yeah, this is an L shirt, right? I just buy M or L, I mean, and I'm good. My shirts always fit. Because there's no different, there's no fitting. Outside of the broad shoulders, you know what unisex clothes are? They're male clothes. Yeah, exactly. The reason why there's unisex clothes is because there's like just looser fit for women. Unisex is just male clothes. It's just a male size t-shirt for women. That's the only difference here. But women have like all these very like specific kind of sizes. Then this doesn't fit, and this doesn't fit, and this doesn't fit. And even though the same size and all that, like it's a bunch of bullshit that men just don't have to deal with, because we don't care too much about that. We just care, is the shirt good? It's a shirt. Is pants good? It's pants. These socks good? Socks. You know, it's just very basic. We're like, who cares? As long as it fits, right? The only thing that we are actually careful about and care about is like fitted suits. Right? Suits is completely different. I think it's the only formal wear that any man can respect. That any man has dreamed of to ever, you know, own something like that. Right? And to like have a fitted suit that's like made for you and you look good in, right? That's the only thing. But women have so much clothes, so much different clothes that it's so saturated to the point that, you know, everything needs to be perfect. A shirt can't fall a certain way because then, well, I guess it doesn't fit, because they care too much about how it forms on their bodies. And I think that is a huge problem. Now, where was it going with this? I have no clue. What was I talking about?
While men's
male models, that's it. Yeah. So the reason why we don't really care about male models and why male models are still ripped and looking good and, you know, respectable and not obese is because we respect them. We actually don't feel scrutinized or don't feel offended by seeing men that look better than us. Because we see that as competitional drive. We see that like, oh, he looks like that. Oh, I need to look like that too. Like, we don't get discouraged by excellence. We admire excellence. And women are discouraged by excellence, so they don't admire excellence, which brings us to the point why female models exist. They can't achieve an audience that is fat, that's obese, which is there's a majority in America, with models that look excellent. It's all psychological. It's all psychological. Men and women are so different, it is crazy.
Fashion still shows buff and toned models and plastic mannequins. Something does not add up. Perhaps it is because of the preconceived notion that women care more about appearances, or that many women still take the main responsibility for shopping for food for the whole household, which drives more impact in speeding up the fattening of the population, leading to more sickness. The spiral itself, from farming to food processing to solving a naturally increasing problem, is just bleak and sickening. Self-acceptance is not the opposite from self-improvement, and is certainly not the logical reason to regenerate 90% of your cells from frozen pizzas, chocolates, chips, and whatever genius foods corporations created to keep you addicted and sick. Part of loving yourself is to actually take accountability for your well-being instead of letting profit-seeking commercials tell you that you are enough. Being positive does not mean being unrealistic. It requires the courage to face the discomfort of broken delusions and be willing to make changes if needed.
Body positivity movement has now resulted in magazine covers that actually says this is healthy. The lifestyle of being obese is now not only beautiful, but it's healthy.
Glorifying a disease is not self-love, it's delusion.
Of course I don't have any health problems. Always out of breath and it's hard to do things, but that's because of fatphobia. And doctors not listening to me. It has nothing to do with the fact that my fupa restricts my movement.
And despite how impossible
now that woman I respect, she's self-aware.
It seems what you do after acceptance is still your choice to make.
Yeah, I don't think it is. I think government should be involved. You know why people in Japan are not obese? Because it's legally, or it's illegal to be obese. And whenever you're obese, you get like a year to lose weight, so you are no longer obese. Otherwise, you get a fine.
Hey, it's Future editing me. I was wrong. It is not illegal. There is a law
for it, called the Metabolic Law, and it requires your weight measurements for people aged 40 to 74, limits to 85 centimeters for men, 90 for women. If someone is over the limit, they may be offered health counseling. There are no punishments or anything like that, but employers and local government may face penalties if many people placed in their group exceed these limits. So, yeah. And you might say, oh, that's so controlling. And obviously America's full of people that hate government control because they don't trust the government and all that, right? And if there's good reason for that or not, doesn't really matter that much. This video's over anyway. But like, it's just, sometimes you need consequences for things that you are unable to control, right? It's like whenever somebody's addicted to a certain drug and a loved one, you know, actively is making sure that they don't take the drug anymore, that they are going to not a relapse. What's it called again? I don't know. They're gonna stop their addiction, right? And you know, and the reason why they start doing what they're doing is because they have somebody encouraging them to be better. But if everything tells you you're good enough, you're fine, your obesity is healthy, like, there's no discouragement, so you're like, okay, well, I guess I can, you know, I can just accept it, right? And that's very bad. It's very bad. You shouldn't accept being obese. I think it's unacceptable, but be obese. Or unless you are actively trying to become better, right? So yeah. Anyway, let me know what you thought about the video. Leave a like and subscribe. That's about it. Take care.